Hello, welcome to today's class. Today we'll be looking at concepts of atoms and molecules. An atom is the smallest particle of an element which can take part in a chemical reaction. And elements are substances which cannot be split into simpler units by an ordinary chemical process. Now, elements are represented using symbols. Elements, symbols. Now let's consider the first element in the periodic table, hydrogen. It has a symbol H, the first letter of the element. Let's look at oxygen, which has a symbol O, the first letter of the element. However, there are some elements that their symbols were derived by not just speaking the first letter of their names, rather the first and any other letter. Let's consider helium. The symbol is He, the first letter and the second letter. Then chlorine with symbol Cl, which is the first letter and the third letter. There are also some elements that their symbols were derived from their Latin names. For instance, sodium with the symbol Na. Na was derived from the Latin name of sodium, which is natrium. Now let's look at the atoms. From the definition of atoms, now they are the smallest particle of elements which can take part in a chemical reaction. Now, these symbols that represent these elements also represent the atoms. H is also a symbol for one atom of hydrogen. O is a chemical symbol for one atom of oxygen. He, that of helium. Cl for chlorine, and Na, chemical symbol for one atom of sodium. Now let's look at molecules and compounds. What are molecules? A molecule is the smallest part of a compound that can exist independently. And what is a compound? A compound is a substance which contains two or more elements chemically combined together. Now let's consider compounds. And their formula, chemical formula. Remember that compounds are substances which contains two or more elements chemically combined together. Let's look at a compound like water. Water, which was made by reacting hydrogen and oxygen. The formula for water is H2O, which simply explains that in this reaction, two atoms of hydrogen combine with one atom of oxygen. Now let's also consider sodium chloride, the common salt in our kitchen. Sodium chloride with the chemical symbol sodium and chlorine, which means this compound was made by reacting sodium and chlorine. Now, a molecule is the smallest part of a compound that can exist independently. I also want you to understand that these same chemical formulas for these compounds are also the chemical formulas for 1 molecule of water. This H2O is also the chemical formula for 1 molecule of water, and NaCl is as well the chemical formula for 1 molecule of sodium chloride. Now let's consider atoms in more details. Atoms are made up of 3 subparticles, which are protons, neutrons, and electrons. Sorry, it's raining here, but we must continue this video. Okay. Having this schematic diagram of a model of an atom, the protons, which are positively charged particles, the neutrons are neutral, they have no charge, and electrons are negatively charged particles. The protons and the neutrons are found in the nucleus of an atom, while the electrons are found around the nucleus. And the environment where we found the electrons is called the shell. So at the shell, we find the electrons, the negatively charged particles, and in the nucleus, we find the protons. Okay, let's go like this. Electrons, here we have the protons and the neutrons. Now, these protons and the neutrons account to the atomic mass of an atom, while only the protons accounts to the atomic number of an atom. Let me explain further. Using sodium as an example, with atomic number 11, it means that sodium has 11 protons, atomic number 11, and mass number 23. And for every atom to be electrically neutral, it must have equal number of protons and electrons. So if sodium has atomic number 11, it means it has 11 protons, 11 electrons. Now, the protons account for the atomic number, while the protons and the neutrons account for the mass number. Now, for the mass number of chlorine to be 23, it means that mass number is 23, which is a product of the number of protons plus the number of neutrons. Therefore, if the mass number is 23 and the number of protons are 11, then we need to find the number of neutrons. Simple arithmetic, that will be 23 minus 11, giving us 12. So for elements with atomic number 11, that's sodium, that has 11 atomic number and 23 mass number, it means that it has 11 protons, 11 electrons, and 12 neutrons. With this, we have come to the end of today's lessons. Don't wait to subscribe to my channel if you got value. Share my video with your friends and family. And like my video so YouTube will recommend it to other viewers. Do come back to check out on other value-packed videos that I'll be uploading soon. Thank you. Bye.